The next lecture here now, for this lecture, we're honored to have Ajahn Assistant Professor Lawan Thanadsillapakul. And presenting the topic 2.2, Settling the Mind. And Ajah's educational backgrounds are, as a layperson, postdoctoral degree in International Economic Law from Switzerland, PhD International Economic Law, United Kingdom, Masters of Law in European Law and Comparative Law from Belgium, Master of Law in International Law from Thammasat University, and Bachelor of Law in Thammasat University. And as for her meditation training, she had Vitanta Sa Samadhi, Ajarya Sa Samadhi, High Class Meditation, Uttama Sa Samadhi, in both Thai and English, Yana Sa Samadhi, Shina Sa Samadhi, Nira Sa Samadhi. So, and her teaching experience in meditation are meditation instructor course since 2015. So you're in good hands. In both Thai and English. And Vitana Sa Samadhi course in both Thai and English. Uttama Sa Samadhi course in English. And Meditation for Life Development course in English. And Sakasa Samadhi in Thai. So, please welcome Ajahn Lawan ka. จานนี้ของอาจารย์ อันนี้ของหนูให้อันนี้มันไม่ค่อยตั้ง
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Jakarta, Pattaya, and Hua Hin. Hello, everyone here. So, presenter of the lecture by Somdet Phayana Vachirodom Phajan Longpo Viriyang Sirintaro. Today's topic is 2.2, concentration or settling the mind. The objective of this topic is that after you complete this topic, you will be able to explain the importance of settling the mind and know how to settle the mind, which is very important because it is the initial step of practicing meditation. Okay, these topics are third and fourth, meditator and teacher on settling the mind. Fifth, additional knowledge about settling the mind. Okay, now, before explaining in detail about settling the mind, you have to understand the mind, and you have to be well prepared for practicing meditation, both physical body and the mental. For physical body, you have already studied in the earlier chapter about the 4 position or posture of meditation, which can be standing, walking, sitting, and reclining. So you have known about that already. How about the mental? The mental is very important because normally the mind or the mental is the controller or commander, and our physical body is the doer, right? So whenever the mind commands you to do this and that, you will do it. And because the mind is overwhelmingly with emotion, right? So the emotion can bring or lead you to do anything which is normally you will not do that, right? Okay? So we have to learn about the mental or the mind. Phajan Longpo said that you have to ask, what is the mind? What you can do with the mind? Where you can place your mind firmly at a specific focal point. So that is very important. So the very initial step is to find the location point. Finding proper location point is very important. And the next step, focusing your mind at that focal point. And this will call location point. And when you place firmly your mind at that location point again and again and again, that will become the single point later, be balanced. That is the state or condition of ready to meditate. Okay? Now, by finding the location point, as I mentioned earlier, and settle the mind at the chosen location point. Okay, thank you. The next step, you need to perform the silent recitation, the word putto, 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 or any word which is suitable to you. And of course, you have to repeatedly settle the mind and firmly establish at that single point until you acquire the skillfulness. So this is the procedure of settling the mind. Now, the first question is that, what is the mind? พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ said that the consciousness is the mind. And therefore, if we do not understand the mind, we cannot correctly settle the mind. So consciousness is the mind, or awareness is the mind. Okay. พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ said that wherever the awareness is, the mind is there. For example, if you focus your awareness on the forehead or on the heart, the mind is there, right? So this is how to understand the mind and the consciousness, okay? Normally, in the normal situation, and always everybody will have emotion in your mind, right? Like this lady. She has a lot of thought, memory, feeling, perception, will, and imagination. So it's impossible that you can perform meditation. As long as your mind cannot settle at a single point, then you cannot focus on meditation. So that's why to focus our mind on the location points is to concentrate or settle the mind to one single point, right? Okay. Topic number 2, the importance of settling the mind. You have to know first principle of basic meditation. Why? Because พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ always insists that when you practice meditation, you have to follow the systematic procedure of practice meditation. As I mentioned earlier, that firstly, to settle your mind, which has been taught by the meditation teacher or master, which I will further explain to you. And you have to follow the correct procedure, then it will result the effective result for your meditation practice. Then, พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ said that it is very important to find the meditation master who well versed or well trained in the correct path. Because the student or the meditator, just like a general student who try to place the alphabet in a sentence or a word in order that they can read that word or that sentence. So, meditation master also come from wherever they are, but they must be well trained in the correct path, and they will teach the same thing. So, if you find the wrong meditation master, you will not successful in practice meditation. So what the teacher will teach you? They will teach you firstly how to settle the mind as I explained to you. So settle the mind, which means you firmly establish the mind at that specific focal point, which is the location point. Where is the location point? The location point can be at the forehead, at the heart, and at the navel, or even at the tip of your nose, wherever is suitable for you. It will call the proper place for settling your mind. And the second issue is that what the meditation master teach must be the correct path, because you have to follow this systematic procedure all the time, every time. You cannot skip this step, or you cannot, there is no shortcut for acquiring meditation. Okay. So, to settle the mind on the correct path is to settle the mind which is well done and in the correct path. If not, conducting meditation will not be successful. And of course, when you have the chosen location, you need not to change it, because your mind will confuse where is the focal point or location point. พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ have made a comparison between building and making meditation. In constructing the house, we need the architect and engineer, because they have the know-how how to place the component in a proper place and with the proper procedure. So, practicing meditation as well, you have to know which is the systematic procedure, as I mentioned. Now, when you know the mind, you know how to place your mind at the location point. Now, the next step, settling the mind at the location point of the mind. Second, settling the mind by focusing on silent recitation, which will support your firmly established of your mind. And third, setting the mind until it becomes a habit. And fourth, having patience. Fifth, setting the mind until being skillful. Okay, so this is the 5 steps. Now, we come to the first step. Finding a location point to establish a firm placement of the mind. Where is the location point? It can be at forehead, at the heart, at the navel, or even tip of the nose, right? So this is finding the proper location which best suit to yourself, right? It can be forehead, heart, and navel, and you have to firmly establish the mind at that location point. Actually, พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ said that there's no restriction which can be the location point, any place. But when you shoot it, you need not to change it, because it will confuse your mind, right? Now, พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ also make a comparison that like sowing the seed. When you sow the seed, it should not be moved in order to promote the consistent growth. Just like when you practice meditation, you have your chosen location point, and then you place your heart, your mind at that point. พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ also suggests to use the perception to create a thought of settling the mind. Why? Because initially, such thought is not real. You just make a perception to create the thought, this is your location point, because you cannot see it, right? So you use the perception and to think about this is your location point. And over the time, the mind repeatedly settles on the location point until such thoughts become real. So this is the way that the mind repeatedly settles on the location point. That is the first step. And of course, you have to repeat it again and again. พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ said that practice make perfect is for practicing meditation as well until you acquire the skillfulness. And whenever you commence meditation, you have to practice by this procedure, and then you gain concentration and gain the skillfulness finally. The consciousness rely on the silent recitation word. พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ suggest the word, which word? Putto. But he said that it can be any word like Namo, Namapatta, any word. You can choose it just like choosing your location point. The recitation word as well, you can choose it. But when you choose it again, you need not to change it. Otherwise, your mind will be confused which one is the proper word for you. Third, setting the mind until it becomes a habit. You need the systematic setting the mind, because the system is mean that when you repeat it again, it will being firm and being at a single point. And that point will be very important for you, because whenever you practice meditation, it will produce the mind power, and the mind power will be accumulated at that point. Okay, so focus the word Putto at that single point, and do it again and again until it becomes a habit of you. And to achieve the goal, patience is very important, because patience can make you attain the goal. พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ always said that you have to do meditation consistently and always do it every day. Whoever used to practice meditation? Do you? Yes. And you? Yes. How about you? Some, right? Some, yes. And you? Yes. What happened to you? You calm, right? You are calm. And what happened to you? The same, right? And how about you? Yes. Yes, of course. And you can make a good decision, right? You will not do anything wrong, because when you gain the mind power, it will no shortcut to acquire mind power. So meditation means accumulate mind power until it attain the one-pointed mind. And how to settle the mind until being skillful? As I mentioned, that develop. And one should repeat the settling the mind at this point over and over until you acquire skillfulness. So that is the way of being skillful. Now, I will show you the flow chart of consciousness or the mind can stand on its own, right? And observe the emotion. And that your mind will be aware of various thoughts. You can practice from now on. When you observe the emotion, you can know that, oh, your mind which has been overwhelmingly with emotion is correct. But if you don't practice meditation, you will not know. You will be the victim of the emotion, right? And your mind will not sway by emotion. And after you practice again and again, your mind need not to rely on the silent recitation. And when you need not to perform silent recitation, but you still have mindfulness, you still can place your mind firmly at the location point without the supporting of silent recitation. So it means that you can seize the silent recitation, you acquire the skillfulness. So this is how to consider whether you acquire the skillfulness or not yet, right? Now, what are the benefits of being skillful in settling the mind? Whoever encounter any sudden event, for example, you have heard in the radio, have my power, you will be panic. And you don't know how to do with that sudden event which happened, right? So, พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ said that by settling your mind until skillful, it will be beneficial for everyone during the critical time, right? If you are skillful, meditation will help. And the mind settle will be automatically in a second, okay? Or with a split second. When sudden situation arises, just like when earthquake and the building is collapsed, also whatever, or even for the Buddhists, พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ said that before you die, and your soul will go wherever they wander, and at that time is the critical time with meditation and which your mind focus on your location point. Then it will lead your soul to the good place. Okay. So, because you can settle the mind immediately, and you will have consciousness at the time as well. You can make decision in the correct way, and you can do what shall to do, right? Now, the second benefit is that after you conduct meditation, the subsequent period, it will become easier, right? Because you have skillful, and then you can settle the mind immediately, then the next or the subsequent step, it will become easier for you. Just a minute or a second, okay? Now, number 4, meditator and teacher on settling the mind. Do you remember I talked about finding the teacher, right? The teacher must be well-versed and have been well-trained in the correct system or procedure. So this is very important. พระอาจารย์หลวงพ่อ said that with the well-versed teacher, they can provide you the correct guidance, what to do, what step you need to follow. Then the meditator or the student will follow the guidance provided by the teacher. However, to locate the mind, to concentrate, must be known by themselves, by memorize the right path which has been provided by the teacher and follow that systematic procedure until they acquire meditative mind, right? Now, additional knowledge about settling the mind. First, success of intangible. Everyone can be successful with the 4 foundations of success. When you conduct meditation as well, because conducting meditation is a matter of intangible, and you can know through direct mental contact with the divine body. Have you heard about divine body before? Not yet? The divine body is? Yeah, because everyone will have the divine body, which normally we cannot contact with the divine body. You will never know that you have contact with your divine body. You can contact with them only through practice meditation, right? So you will contact and have the direct mental contact with the divine body. Now, what are the 4 foundations of success? Do you know what are they? No. Do you know? Some. No? Do you know? No, okay. Now you will know. Chanta, Viriya, Chitta, Vimamsa. Chanta is mean aspiration. Viriya, diligence. Chitta, thoughtfulness. Vimamsa, investigation. This is the 4 foundation for accomplish. We call in Bali word Ittibat 4. Yeah, this is the basis or the foundation of success. So it means that when you practice meditation, you always have to acquire these 4 foundations of success. The first is Chanta or aspiration. You must like to do it. Second, diligence, viriya, diligence. You have to work hard on it. And third, citta or thoughtfulness, right? And the fourth is investigation. Why you have to invest? In order that you can know whether what you practice is the correct one or not, right? Yeah. Or in other words, analysis. You have to analyze, right? Okay. Moreover, your mind to be firmly established must have the connotation of you are the meditator. You have to trust what you have practiced that is correct. And you must be sincere and you must have the truthfulness. You practice from your heart, right? Yeah. If you don't have this connotation, again, meditation is not successful, right? You still have doubt whether this is correct, this is a benefit for you or not, then it will fail, right? So believe, trust the way, and it will become trustworthy. Okay, now we come to the conclusion. We have 5 issues. The first one, the consciousness is the mind. What is the mind, right? Wherever the awareness or consciousness is, the mind is there. If we do not understand the mind, we cannot correctly settle the mind. This is the first important thing. Second, it is important to know how to settle the mind at the initial and subsequent step of meditation, and to do so in the correct path, the second. The third guideline for settling the mind involves settling the mind at the location point of the mind, focusing on silent recitation, selecting the mind until become habit, having patience, and developing skillfulness of your mind. This is the third step. And fourth, meditator must understand that this method of settling the mind has good result, and memorize the method of doing so. Instructor must be well versed and can provide guidance on the method, while the settling of the mind is up to the meditator themselves, yourself. And fifth, setting the mind for supernatural power is at the extraordinary level of skillfulness in settling the mind. Success in meditation awaits once one possesses the four bases of success. Setting the mind has the connotation of trust. Meditator must be sincere, possess truthfulness in conducting meditation. So that's all of the topic 2.2. I wish all of you success in practicing meditation. Thank you for your attention. อนุโมทนาสาธุสาธุ
On behalf of the class, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for Ajahn Dr. Lawan for generously taking the time to share her knowledge with us. And may I now invite all the students to please give her a big hand, a round of applause, to thank her.